Hey everybody, Randy Barton back again with you for a recipe of a homemade protein bar. Now this is my favorite recipe for a homemade protein bar, and I think it actually tastes delicious. I'm going to give you a few different options as well if you want to sweeten it up just a little bit. Depending on what your goals are, you can add a few extra things to it to make it even yummier. But that'll be up to you as we get there. Let me run through a few basic things you're going to need before we get started with this. First off, as far as bowls and stuff like that, you're going to need two different bowls. You're going to need something to mix your dry mixture in, something for some things we're going to melt down in just a minute. No real cooking, just simple stuff. Going to also need a measuring cup. Going to need, when it comes to the small measurements, call me naughty, but I don't use little teaspoon things. I normally guess it, and I come pretty close. At least it tastes okay. And you're going to need a pan to spread it out with later. Now, this is just simple 8x8, but you can use anything that you'd like to, depending on how thick or thin you want it to come out. And of course, something to stir it all together with is going to be splendid as well. Simple ingredients for this here. There are a lot of them. You can simplify it and play with it what you'd like to meet your goals and to meet your palate as well. But we have our protein powder. We have some old-fashioned oatmeal, we have some cinnamon, we have some almond chips or almond slices, we have some 60% bittersweet chocolate. Make sure it's 60% or even a higher percentage of just straight chocolate. It's not quite as sweet, but it is going to do the trick for this. You're going to want some unsweetened applesauce, some vanilla, some peanut butter. This is just plain peanut butter because that's what I have. I would recommend a natural peanut butter, but same thing for you. Life happens. Use what you have. And then also some almond milk. Now this is unsweetened almond milk. You can use plain milk as well, some skim milk. Some people don't like the lactose part of it. That's up for you to decide. But also this has significantly less calories. It doesn't have the sugar that standard milk has. And it's something that'll work for you. You can throw it in a bag and you don't have to worry about milk inside of it going bad. So let's get to making this stuff and see how things go. Alright, I've got it set up now for a workspace area. Two things I didn't mention before. Definitely want some cooking spray so that you can spray down the pan you're going to put them in the refrigerator. And also you're going to need a spoon to get things like peanut butter out of a jar. So here we go, got it set up. We're going to try to run through this. First we're going to start off with 2 cups of oatmeal. 2 cups of oatmeal. Spill a little bit, but that happens. Real life stuff. You also need to have a cup of protein powder. Now I already know from past experience this protein powder I need 4 scoops to get 1 cup. So 1, 2, 3, 4 scoops of protein powder. We're going to take a 1/4 cup of those almond pieces. Now this is actually an optional ingredient, but I'm putting it in. You can save yourself 40 calories and a few fat grams if you decide not to put in the almond slices, but that's going to be up to you. It can also be something that's good if you're looking for calories, if this is going to be your total meal replacement with that. Your next dry ingredient is going to be that of the cinnamon. And I just put a few shakes in there because what you're going to need is simply 1 tablespoon. So I guessed it out. That looks like it's probably about 1 tablespoon. And we're done with the dry ingredients. Set that to the side. Time to put things in that you're going to melt down in the microwave momentarily. We're going to start out with the peanut butter. We're going to do a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Now when it comes to peanut butter, I hate having to smush it down into a measuring cup and then having to scoop it back out again. So I guess a 1/2 cup of peanut butter, and I guess that's probably close to a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Maybe just a little bit more there. Whatever makes you happy in that. That looks like a good amount for my batch here. And then we're going to go on to our 1/4 cup of chocolate. Now do make sure that it's the extra dark chocolate. I know that it's not going to be quite as flavorful, but it is as far as sweetness, but we are wanting to watch our carbs in all of this to make sure everything works real well. So we've got our 1/4 cup of chocolate bits thrown into there. These are all going to be melt down in just a minute and becomes our wet mixture to hold our dry mixture together. Little splash, that is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'll have all of these things at the end so that you're able to see exactly what it is, as well as they're coming up on the screen now for you. Want to make sure you know what is what. Now to our almond milk, just simply a 1/4 cup of almond milk. Oh yes, there is 1/4 cup of beautiful, delicious almond milk. And that just simply leaves us with our applesauce, which is going to be a great bit to give us some natural sweetness, as this is unsweetened applesauce, so you're just getting the straight sweetness from the apples themselves. And we're going to use a 1/4 cup of applesauce. If you'd like to, you can actually add just a little bit more. It will help it mix up a little bit easier. And with that spoon we had earlier, we're going to just mix that slightly together now. And we're going to pop this in the microwave. I find it takes about 2 minutes in the microwave that I have, but you know your microwave better than I know mine. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave and then come back and tell you a few different optional things that you can do. Okay, as that is warming up in the microwave, I told you before there's a few other options that you could throw into this to make it extra super yummy. I'm going to mix this dry stuff together just so it's all mixed in as we talk here. But one thing you could do is add honey. Add a 1/4 cup of honey. It is going to add some sugar to it, but it also, if you get the natural honey, it's going to have some really good enzymes for you that'll help digestion and just overall health. Also, there's a big debate with honey. If you get it from your local area, it can help with things such as allergies and can reduce your effect of allergies when it comes that season. So you may want to put honey in there. Also something to add a nice bit of sweetness or maybe a bit of twang, depending on what you use, would be a 1/4 cup of raisins or a 1/4 cup of craisins. Some sort of a dried fruit really makes this thing pop. But that will dramatically affect the carb intake, the sugar intake, just like the honey does. So be careful with that depending on what your goals are. But we are ready. As soon as that comes out of the microwave, we're going to mix it all together and then simply spread it in the pan, which we'll prepare. Get it sprayed down with some cooking spray. You can use the one of your choice. That's ready to go. Now I will mention some of the nutrition facts for this, as this would be very important to know what you're putting into your body. Is I make the 8 bars out of this. You might want to make 10 bars depending on what your caloric needs are. But let me give you the rundown for 8 bars. So if you're a 10 bar person that wants little smaller meals out of these, you could reduce these numbers a little bit. But for 8 bars, each one of them comes out to be about 370 calories. Perfect. Especially if I make them with some raisins or cranberries or put in some honey. That calorie count goes up a little bit and is right at where I want a main meal to be. So for lunch, it works perfect. Hey, the microwave's done. Just going to stir our beautiful mixture together. So for our calories, it's going to be about 370 calories. Nice amount, really good amount. It's going to have in there somewhere about 200 to 205 grams of sodium, or milligrams of sodium. So not too bad on the sodium count as well, considering this can be a great meal replacement. While there are 26 grams of carbs, 19 of those are all complex, which means it's going to be good. It's going to be helping digestion, it's going to be fibrous, and it's going to give more of a sustained energy than just a small pop of blood sugar into your bloodstream. And then the big news of the day is the fact that there's 21 grams of protein. Now that'll all depend a little bit on what kind of protein powder you use, but 21 grams of protein is fantastic. You can eat this right after your workout. You can have it as a meal replacement, whatever you need. Here it is, and it's fantastic. I think it is absolutely delicious. Now we're going to empty this together, pour this into our dry mix here. Scrape the bowl down. If you try this recipe, please comment below. Let me know what you think of it. We'd love to get feedback, and if you'd like some more recipes, we will stick them on there. Tell us what you'd like. If you want some desserts, some main meals, just regular snack meal replacement things, whatever it may be, we want to get you the information that you need. Alright, good enough for now. Then you just start stirring it all together. And it is going to stir kind of tough. Because it is going to be thick enough that when it dries, it's a nice bar. Now when I put these in the refrigerator, which it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to really set up nice, but when I put these in the refrigerator, I do leave them uncovered. In fact, I leave them uncovered until they're all eaten. Sometimes I'll put them in a Ziploc bag, like a gallon Ziploc bag, if I don't want anything to get in them or if I think the kids might come along and start chewing on them. But when I do that, I find that they do get a little bit of a sticky glaze. So When they're just in general storage, I keep it uncovered. That way they're nice. I can pick it up with my fingers. Nothing gets all over my fingers. Nice stuff. All right, this is very thick. I'll show you here. It's a very thick mixture. It doesn't move around in the pan any at all, or in the bowl any. And then you just simply put it into your prepared pan. And then you just spread it out smooth. And I think you guys can probably figure out exactly how to do that. Dump it in, spread it out, you'll be good. So I'm not going to show you all that process, but I'm going to put right now on the screen for you all of the ingredients there. We'll leave it there for a little while so that you can see exactly what it is that you're looking at for it. So enjoy this. If you try it, let us know how you like it. And any suggestions, maybe you have a variation of the recipe that you do. But very simple, very quick, as you've seen, just takes a few minutes, and it's a whole lot cheaper than going out and buying some of those pre-made protein bars that has who knows what in it. This has been Randy Barton for Extreme Faith and Fitness. I hope you enjoy. We'll see you next time.